can't handle that Milwaukee. You just know that the wall.
Shop vac I've had for many years.
Yeah, Jeremy, why?
Christmas help.
You just called Jeremy Christmas help?
Yes.
So messed up.
Call me. Nice and slow, just so you can see.
Put the mother up and make sure you move the
Perfect.
I thought frogs was like it.
I'm gonna use the old lady's money, so I'm gonna spend whatever I want.
That's crazy.
No, no one knows what you're saying right now.
Some of us have to get some videos done.
Throw the box.
Hey guys, we're down here having a blast, making a whole lot of noise, pissing everybody off, but we really got to get this boat done because it's taking too long. So in this time, we're going to go for a home stretch, try to get it done on day 4, which is more or less all about EVA foam, boat flooring, and decking. We're going to be using HydroTurf and Orthodeck paired together in a combo to give it a two-tone gray hint, and we evolve this process as the video goes forward. And then we have some big surprises for you and some people we want to show you going into day 5, where we have some very cool things happening. Stay tuned as the series continues on in the Tin Can Cruise Tennessee Build-Off, brought to you by TB Nation.
Real. We're all slacking now.
Figure we try and treat ourselves. Hey, so Brian over here cheating me out of my free waffle. Look at
What's up, Ryan? Not free waffle Wednesday.
it's day 4. We're a little burnt, but we're still in way better condition than last time. Hey, day 4 last time. How were we all?
I'm great. I'm ready to go.
You, whatever. We were half dead. We were half dead. We were not doing very well.
Miss Nick.
Nate said he felt like he got hit by a truck. Last time.
Right now.
We were at day 4. Nate's like, I feel like I
Yeah, that's what he said today. He hit a wall.
There's all those Red Bulls.
Yeah, all his Red Bulls.
Can't carry fast 3. I am. I want to go fishing. I want to go fishing collab. I mean, yeah, what else do I got to do besides possibly custom out some of the turf? We'll see. We're at the Huddle House, though. This is the dope piece.
We are not using flex glue because we want to. We are using it because our 3 and 5200 was bad, and that was the only thing we could find in Lowe's. We couldn't find anything else. We decided that after everything being mostly done after day 3, that we can go ahead and try and add whatever accessories we can put into it here on day 4. So we have a lot of extra pieces we grabbed from each of our shops to try and put in here, including these underwater LEDs from TH Marine. And we're also going to try and add some LEDs at the front. John had a genius idea of routering out the top deck into the tube frame so we could sit that pedestal mount flush. Once we routed all of that out there flush, we stuck in big flanges, pretty much big washers underneath the tube frame to secure it to the bottom. The Keebles, whose boat this is, chose gray turf. So we're going to go ahead and install it. This is the lined gray turf. It is from HydroTurf. And we've always wanted to see what it would actually look like on a boat. None of us have been gutsy enough to get it because it always looks really dark at the pictures. But it doesn't look half bad when you're sitting there in real life. This line turf, the thicker stuff like that, is always the hardest stuff to line up. But thank heaven, we have 3 people who install this turf regularly, and they're going to help us out. For those of you wondering, we do have a full installation tutorial, and we have it listed up here in the iCard, and you just search HydroTurf install and it'll pop up. But for those of you who are wondering what we're doing now, we have the hatches lined up and we're pretty much using the hinges of the hatches to line the turf. We laid it out, we figured where the best center point is, where it's going to look the most even, and we carve out gently with a utility knife what's called a safety layer. We only carve out a piece of the under laminating paper out to secure it to what we think will be a straight line, and that allows us to at least have a base for when we go around to manipulate the rest of it. And we're cutting out these pieces because, well, they would have to be cut out anyways because they're right on top of a hatch. And we can also maybe later line it up with other parts of the deck that we might need just in case. The good thing about this lined turf is if a part of it gets damaged or a whole section of it gets damaged, you can just cut down the black line and install a brand new piece of turf and you cannot tell the difference. Say a bigger benefit that the specific brand of HydroTurf has over some of its competitors is that the adhesive backing is fairly easy to work with. In so much that as long as you're real loose with it when you apply it first, you can re-pull up the turf and readjust it without ruining the entire layer, the entire mat. But this stuff, as long as you don't press too hard on it when you're laying it down like this, you're going very gently over it. And as long as you don't let it sit for longer than a few hours or you don't let it bake in the sun, you can readjust it. But once you press down hard enough, that's it for it. And if you let it bake in the sun, that's it for it. You'll end up ripping the turf and it'll either stretch beyond recognition or just simply rip in half or start to delaminate. Just this little window is a very crucial window, especially with a piece this big where you have 3 or 4 eyes on it, making sure that it's straight. And just because one line ends up straight doesn't mean everything will end up straight. Sometimes it comes off shift. At this point in time, we have the mat straight, but there's just this little section. The right section is just a little off, so they're going to go ahead and try their best to realign it. There is a little bit of give between the turf to where you can re-straighten it out and re-pull or push it in. So we spend the next little bit of time trying to line it up perfectly, specifically because a lot of eyes will be on this boat. Everybody will see it down here, and we want to make sure that we get the best deal. So even if we have to rip out that entire sheet, we would have done it. Thank heaven we didn't have to do that. So we go ahead and we line out the rest of the hatches, and we put them on like so.
When you start using Orthodeck, then you can cut the soft stuff with the butter.
Oh, you set that Orthodeck.
Look at that pro hinge cut. That's pretty good.
That's to actually remove. This is garbage. So we need a straight. I need a straight edge.
I saw him, but you beat me to it. I knew it was sick on it.
It'll be that you hand routed this stuff off here. Have you ever routed these corners?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Why are you cutting the edge off?
Because that shit's crooked.
Oh.
And I want to see.
Pretty good, eh? I know, I can't even tell you cut it. Like that, I will say it sucks. Look, murder hornet.
The second it comes through here.
Hey, watch out, Nate. Right there, came back for revenge. Death.
Got him!
Ben doesn't have the guts to do that again. There's another one on Nate.
Where'd he go? Yeah, another one.
I was just joking, there wasn't one.
As the project went on, we noticed that gray turf looked alright, but it was kind of like blah, like nothing was terribly exciting about it. and we just had a few scrap pieces of this gray orthodex, a little bit lighter than the hydro turf, but if we can mesh them together, I think they're going to accent each other really well, and plus we can do something cool on here. Another huge fail that all of us did is we didn't bring one workbench. That is a huge fail. I swear next time if we ever do one of these projects, we're going to bring like 3 workbenches. Anyways, we found a table that wasn't particularly flat, but it worked. I hand drew custom lettering onto graphics Duralar, then cut it out with a utility knife, and then I traced it on with a pencil. Actually, I think it was a pen, like so. And then we go ahead and go to town. It took 3 of us to hold that thing down flat so it wouldn't bind and mess up, and then obviously we would ruin. We have like 1 shot to do all this. We have no extra turf left. And if we don't pull this off, it's just gonna be lined blah turf the whole boat. Which isn't bad, it's just not gonna be, you know, us.
Hold it right there. Put it on the concrete. Actually, do it. Watch your face.
Give us more time.
A little tight. That's what we want.
Oh, hold on. I thought you was, well, shit. I thought you were going to let me ride this first. Are you already sticking it on there?
Yeah. I just asked you, are you going to route her in place? And you said yes.
Yeah, once it was on there, but you know. Let's just do it. Come on, it's too late. We'll send it. It's too late. I don't know. You know, it's not gonna work.
What ain't gonna work?
It's gonna have a bubble in it.
Where is there gonna be a bubble?
Nope.
Dreaming, son.
Torque master. Torque master. Told you there's gonna be a bubble.
Bubble what?
Bubble on the beat.
So that was pretty risky and a little nerve-wracking, but it looks pretty darn awesome. Blending the two-tone in, the pre-routed with the non-routed, looks pretty fantastic. They're both 2 different types of turf. And we all sit there and contemplate if we should just leave it like that or go forth with routing it. And truth be told, I didn't want to route it, so I tried to con them into doing it. They're like, I don't want to do it. I've never done it before. All these lame excuses. So whatever, we just went for it. The more we sat there and looked at it, the more we just decided it had to be done. And we're glad we did it because it really, really meshed them together like it was meant to be that way. All of us had a pretty huge mental high from that moment, and it made us work till even farther in the morning. And the panels, we absolutely let Nate pull off his little magic. I don't know how he pulled off the first front little panel there. We figured we'd let him do all of them. So he's installing the Hootie's Boat panel. By the way, we don't know why it's called Hootie's Boat, but it's called that. We asked the owners, we asked, Tim's wife. She wouldn't even tell us, and it's her boat. We hoped that she would tell us before we left, but she didn't. So if you guys see this boat in the water in Tennessee, and you see her, ask her. Maybe she'll tell you. The thing about adding custom pieces like that around stock pieces and layouts is that it makes the stock layout look that much more ordinary and everything else seeming unbalanced. So the 5th day in the morning when everybody else kind of goes, because the boat is pretty much done besides this part. Chris and I, the more kind of artistically anal people, stay behind while everybody else goes out to fish to finalize the routing on this boat. So here we go.
Look at that.